We didn't want those crowds converging on each other.
I got called by a friend who said the march is now on. I drove up there to be with the family. So from about 5:30ish, I was there till the first cars got burned. The intention was to stand there. I got to meet with the Duggan family and to listen to the challenges they've been through. The upset that I heard from the family seemed justified, that they didn't feel they were supported. And I felt it was right that somebody gave them answers. And if they weren't getting it at home, they had a right to stand where they were standing with the community and get the answers they requested.
We asked for this senior police officer at 5:15, 5:30. Somewhere just before the end of the Spurs game, a black police officer turned up. Now, we didn't know at the time he was reportedly the most senior officer. He got a lot of stick, a lot of catcalls. Not for being the most senior officer, but for being a black police officer in that situation.
Now, that gentleman was incredibly conscientious. Good lad, superb bloke. He'd been there because he was in charge of the football. It was a Tottenham Hotspur home game. So he'd been there all day until he got called down to the vigil because there was a problem there. He's a bona fide chief inspector who actually works at Harringay.
This policeman went inside the station. He came out after quite a period of time, maybe an hour. People weren't very happy.
I remember being called by my wife while I was there to come home. And I said, I feel there is something about to happen in Tottenham, and I want to see whether I can help stop it. I felt an unrest. There were too many telltale signs. Speaking to the community, walking around the community on that Friday after Mark's death, listening to people's commentary on the scenario, there was just an annoyance. People were annoyed.
So this chief inspector eventually said, okay, there's a superintendent who's acting up as a chief superintendent, and I'll go and get hold of him. And his name is Gurdip Singh. Now, he was out in, I think they said, Red Hill. Somewhere near Ilford. They said they were going to send a car for him, a police car, blues and twos flashing. Gants Hill was where he was. And he'd be there in 1 hour. It was 7:45 when he said this. And I pointed out to him at the time, and this is the only time I actually spoke to him. I said, you know what? We wanted to be gone a long time ago. It's 7:45 now. It's going to be dusk soon. We want to be out of here before nightfall comes. And if we are not out of here before nightfall comes, on your head be it. We said we'd wait for an hour. We waited for the hour. I should have said, part of the reason the women was in the road was so traffic wasn't going up and down. We didn't want Tottenham to go about its normal business when our community was so affected. So the road was in effect closed from about 5:15 that evening, and that becomes significant later on. At 8:45, the women, and amongst the initial group, there were lots of young women with children in pushchairs and in arms. They said, look, we got to go. Children need feeding, we've got to go. So Simone, that is Mark Duggan's his partner and the mother of his children, said she was going. So we left to go. Now at that point, you could feel the change in atmosphere.